What to do now? The Sabres lose 6-1 to the Montreal Canadiens. I feel for so many Sabres fans. I'm going to have to bring on a couple Sabres fans, including my buddy Riley, to talk about the Sabres from a fan perspective. But honestly, guys, I don't even know how it gets to this point. The Terry Piccola comments, I'll include, shout out to the Sports Beard. He had me on his show. I'll include our segment that we talked about the Sabres a little bit at the end of this video. So watch the end of this video for also my thoughts on just the timeline on how the Sabres have flipped here from the losing streak, or winning and going to the wild card to Dahlian getting injured and now the losing streak. It's so like frustrating, but also like the Sabres fans don't know what's a good thing right now. Like they don't know who to stand by. They don't know. Like you can look at Lindy Ruff, you could look at Kevin Adams, you could look at Terry Pegula, you could look at some of the players on this team. I mean, here's the thing. Like you've got all the pieces in terms of the bright future, in my opinion, on paper. Like Levi and UPL long term, you should never have a complaint about that. Those two guys will work out. Power, Dahlian, Byram. To me, in 3-4 years, we're going to talk about those three guys being like legit top pairing or top four defensemen consistently in this league. Tage, Tuck, what Benson, Peterka, Quinn are going to do in the future. But at the end of the day, you can't keep running and you like with what you've got and just hoping for change. And I understand they've drafted a lot of guys and brought new guys in, but at the end of the day, you just got to build it up if you want results now. And unfortunately, either for the Sabres, they've got to make some moves around the perimeter and just stay patient, which is such a bad message to the fans at this point, or you've got to be bold. And they were bold with that Ryan McLeod trade. It worked out. I think you have to be bold again. Maybe it's not even trading Dylan Cousins. You've got a lot of cap space, a lot of flexibility. Maybe it's waiting till the offseason and making a massive move so Sabres fans can get behind it. Because I was so frustrated that your big addition in free agency was Zucker. You didn't make a trade for a forward. You didn't make another addition on that right side defense. That's why my friend Riley, a Sabres fan, wanted a guy like Vincent Desharnais because they didn't add that guy on the right side. They don't have right shot defensemen outside of Yoki Haru and Clifton, frankly. And both guys shouldn't be more than a bottom pair defenseman in my eyes. So I know Clifton's had his moments, but Yoki Haru too. Like it's not enough. You need to get a right shot guy. And also, I mean, figure out the Byram situation. Have a conversation with the guy. If Byram's on a top pair with Dahlian consistently, I would have a hard time thinking he's not going to be happy with that. And like I said, the Sabres weeks ago were in a wildcard spot. They were in a good spot. Dahlian goes down. That's the heart of the team. This is what happens. And then you lose 6-1 to Montreal. We are truly at rock bottom. Make a bold move or make a statement. You cannot go publicly and say, hey, we're going to build around the guys in the room, unless it's a strategy or just a way to go about upping your guys' value and waiting for the right deal to come along. But at the same time, you can't keep waiting. I mean, if you want to keep the first round pick and hope it's a top 3 and you get a Martone or a Higgins, are you drafting another left shot defenseman in Matthew Schaefer to add, unless you're trading Byram? Like Schaefer's only maybe a considerable pick if you're trading Byram. Outside of that, you're probably keeping that pick and drafting Porter Martone, Michael Misa, or James Higgins. And honestly, I like Martone potentially for the Sabres in that aspect. But this is where I'm going back into the offseason. Like, we're literally in December. I should not be going that far ahead, and unfortunately Sabres fans are. So right now, I think you go two ways about it. You got to either make a huge statement in terms of management. Is Kevin Adams really going to fall on a sword here? Or are you making a big trade? Going, Kevin Adams, this is your last chance to make a bold move to add an experienced top player into your top forward group and seeing if it can make a difference. If you feel Pettersson still plays that soft game and not someone you would want on your team, I think that'd be a great ad if even if Cousins is involved, but there's got to be other guys out there you can target. I mean, again, going ahead into the offseason, if you could target, I sent it out on X, if Mikko Rantanen would even consider looking at Buffalo, give him the highest AAV in the NHL and don't even question it. Rantanen next to, and then if you could trade for Pettersson, like, you just need to get aggressive and bold here. Yeah, you don't want bad contracts in your hands, but at the same time, you've got to take some risks. Because everyone thought Matthias Samuelsson was like under a great contract, had a great year last year, and he's been bad this year. Now that contract looks bad. Things can change so quickly. You need to be aggressive and bold. The Ryan McLeod move, as much as I criticized it, it was bold. And right about now, they need another bold move. So just a disaster. The fact that your owner comes into the picture the way he did and you still lose 6-1 to the Montreal Canadiens in the state that they're in. Again, shouts to Patrick Laine for the hat trick, but still, it's an embarrassment and something needs to change. I just wanted to make just like a candid, non-editing video for you guys talking about the Sabres. And I mean, 11-game losing streak, it's completely unacceptable, completely rock bottom. And frankly, you have to do something, like, if not before Christmas, out of respect for families, like, you are not entering 2025 without some kind of move. There has to be something. And if you don't, I feel like you're really sending the wrong message. And maybe they do turn it around and get some wins together. But what does that mean? It means you're finishing in the middle of the pack, not getting a top draft choice, and not being a legitimate playoff team. You don't want that middle ground. So you either commit to this direction of losing, or you make a move now.